In this video, I'm going to be talking about ablatives, specifically the ablative of agent and the ablative of instrument. Now, because this is about ablatives, I am obviously going to be needing the ablative case a lot. So if you're not sure about that ending or any of your noun endings, go and download my free guide to noun endings. It's a PDF you can download really easily and just have it to hand as we go through this, or for whenever you need help with noun endings. So, really quick recap. Ablatives, we usually translate them by, with, from, sometimes in. Now, the ablative of agent and the ablative of instrument are slightly different uses of the ablative. Chances are you've already been translating these things, but it's just so you understand the grammar that you might need to know what type of ablative you are translating. So we're going to look at the ablative of agent first. It's used with passive verbs usually, and it has an a or an ab preposition. For example, mercator ab uxore necatur. Uxore is my ablative. Just before it, I have my ab preposition. Now, just the difference between a and ab. A is if the word following it begins with a consonant. Ab is if it begins with a vowel. Just nice and easy, but just keep that in mind. It could be a, could be ab. In this case, it's ab because I have uxore. The merchant is killed by his wife. It's not a very happy sentence, but it does get my ablative of agent. She is basically the person doing the verb, but because it's passive, she is not the nominative of the sentence. The merchant is the nominative. He is the subject of the passive verb. She is the agent who is doing it. So the merchant is killed by his wife. So we've talked about ablative of agent. Now we're going to talk about instrument. It's used with active, passive, or deponent verbs. It really doesn't matter what type of verb you have. You could have an ablative of instrument. You don't need a preposition. In this case, the preposition is included within the ablative itself. So for example, servus dominum gladio oppugnat. Gladio is my ablative of instrument. I don't have a preposition before it. The slave attacks the master with a sword. Now you might just be thinking, well, that's my usual ablative, and you'd be right. Often, this can be your normal ablative. The only thing you need to know is that it is an instrument by which something happens. Sometimes you can have sentences that have agent and instrument. Now, this is where it comes really important that you understand which is which. So I've got rex a militibus veneno occisus est. The eagle-eyed among you will notice we have two ablatives in this sentence. We're going to break it down a bit beforehand, but keep an eye on those ablatives because we don't want them to trip us up. So, we're going to start with the nominative, rex, the king. Then I find my verb, was killed, occisus est. Now this is a passive. Now I know that I might be able to have an ablative of agent here. So I'm going to be looking for my a or my ab. And I have it. I have a militibus. So this is my ablative of agent by the soldiers. They're the ones who are doing the killing. So the king was killed by the soldiers. And now I'm going to find my ablative of instrument, veneno, with poison. You could say by poison or by means of poison. That's really what the ablative of instrument means, by means of. But that's kind of clunky to say, so we usually just say with. So the king was killed by the soldiers with poison. Another example, poculum ab ancilla vino explitum est. In this case, I've got ab ancilla. Again, I've got the preposition with the b on the end because ancilla starts with a vowel. So ab ancilla is my agent and vino is my instrument. Now this one isn't a particularly violent sentence, unlike all my others it seems. This one is, the cup was filled with wine by the slave girl. The cup, poculum, was filled, explitum est, with wine, vino, my ablative of instrument, by the slave girl, ab ancilla, my agent. So, little quick recap of how to spot the difference between agent and instrument. An agent is the person who is doing the passive action. The instrument, we translate it as by means of. That's how the action was done. So agent, the person that's doing the action. Instrument, how the action was done. For the agent, you need an a or an ab preposition, but for the ablative of instrument, you don't need it. No preposition needed. In agent is used mainly with passive verbs. Instrument can be used with any voice of verb. The important thing in this to remember is that they're both ablatives, and you have to figure out which one it is based on whether it has a preposition, a passive action, or sometimes what type of noun it is. The agent's usually going to be a person, the instrument is usually going to be a thing. That's not always the case. You could have the room was filled with people, therefore the people would be the instrument. But as a general gist, if you're just starting out with agent and instrument, agents are probably going to be people, instruments are probably going to be things. The important thing is it's going to be in the ablative case. And if you're not sure about your ablative endings or any of your noun endings, go and download that free noun endings reference guide. It'll be really helpful just to have it to hand. And that's all there really is to ablative of agent and instrument. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, do feel free to ask them. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on bambasbat.